Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, classmate. Our lesson for today is about risk management presented by Electrical Engineering and Civil Engineering Group 9. What is risk management? It is the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling threats to an organization's capital and earnings. Risk management allow organizations to attempt to prepare for the unexpected by minimizing risk and extra costs before they happen. It is the identification, evaluations, and prioritizations of risk followed by coordinated and economical applications of resource to minimize, monitor, and control the probability of impact of fortunate event or to maximize the realizations of opportunity. So means the meaning of the risk management sila yung nag-identify or nag-assist or nagko-control ng mga possible threaten sa capital or earnings ng isang company. Step to implement risk management. First one, risk identification, quantify and prioritize. Be risk sensitive, not risk adverse. Identify risk in the business decision. The next one, risk management approaches. Risk avoidance. Avoidance is a method for mitigating risk by not participating in activities that may negatively affect the organization. That making an investment or starting a product line are example of such activities as they avoid the risk of loss. For example, you may realize sending employees to work at the customer's home can open your business to more risk of bodily injured. The next one is reductions. This method of risk management attempt to minimize the loss rather than completely eliminate. While accepting the risk, it is stay focused on keeping the loss contained and preventing it from spreading. For example of it is health insurance is prevent care or fire department, night security guard. So attempt to deal with risk by preventing the loss or the big loss to the organizations. Risk sharing. When the risks are shared, the possible of loss that transfer from the individual to a group. A corporations is a good example of risk sharing. Several investors pool their capital and each only bear a portions of the risk that the enterprise may fail. The commonly example of risk sharing is when an individual or a business purchase insurance to help share financially risk like property damage. The next one is risk retaining. In the risk management is a person or organizations choose to assume accountability for a specific risk rather than passing the risk to an insurance provider through the purchase of insurance. It is done through redemptions rather than transferring by means of deductibles, non-insure, and plans that are loss sensitive. The next one. What is intellectual property risk management? It is a process of identifying, analyzing, and responding to the factors related to IP throughout the life of an IP rights or intellectual property rights. It includes organizations planning and budgeting and costing control. Surprises will be diminished because emphasis will now be on proactive rather than reactive management. The next one, IP risks and what are they? By its very nature, there are both rewards and risks associated with intellectual property or IP. Risk is a chance of something going wrong and the danger that damage or loss will occur. The detrimental or harmful effect for the organizations or company. Management is a process of analyzing exposures to risk and determining how the best they will handle such exposures. Of the course or not all IP risks are not same and they will not broken down into a variety of different categories. One such category is origin, namely identifying from where the IP related risk comes. The next one, where do IP related risks originate? Companies and organizations face IP related risks from a multitude of sources, namely, the first one is from within the organization itself. So, the best example of it is the noontime show It Bulaga. The next one is the from entities in the ecosystem or organization. The next one is the competitors. So example, ang business ninyo is a coffee shop. So if the another company copy your intellectual properties or something like that. And the third one is independent third party from the government entities or from illegal entities. Then the last one is the organization's own network of IP service and solutions provider.
What is intellectual property? Business in today's economy have to be on the lookout for several aggressive threats to IP, including copyright pirates, patent flutter, brand impersonators, trade secrets. Intellectual property is legally safeguarded and encompasses in anything that is original and created. Creators such as artists and inventors are duly recognized for their creativity when intellectual property laws ensure the protection of their works from unauthorized use for profit or personal benefit. Societies and economies thrive through innovation and creation. So it is the best interest of governments to provide intellectual property protection, thereby incentivizing their creators to continue producing depending on the nature of the creation or invention. It may automatically receive protection once it is brought into existence. Some forms need to be registered with an agency in order to have protection. Most countries throughout the world have laws in place to protect IP, but not everyone enforces those laws until cheating can become a big issue in countries without strictly enforced IP laws. Types of IP protection intellectual property can be protected in several ways, but the most basic protection are copyright. Copyright protects artistic works like written works, paintings and drawings, sculptures, music, movies, and TV, and even the software. Patents protect inventions that are unique and show progress in technology. And then trademarks protect symbols or words that are used to denote specific.
Why protect IP? Physical property is well protected, but it only became necessary to protect intellectual property in more recent years. As artists and inventors create products or processes, everything is made so readily available to people across the world. IP is not always in the form of a tangible object, so it can be harder to protect from thieves than something like a house or a car. If a musician creates a song and it can become accessible to people everywhere fairly, easily, and quickly because the song is intangible and individual of all around the world can listening to it. So with such ease of accessibility, IP is also very easy to copy a song that took a long time to write and record can be downloaded and redistributed in seconds. For example, this song that is already known here in the Philippines, yung Kantang Selos ni Shaira, na yung melody ng kanta is Ginaya, which is Trouble is a Friend by Lenka, the original. So, IPLO now works to protect the creator's right to profit from their own work. It is illegal for a work to be copied and distributed without the consent of its creator. So, yung ginawa ng side nila Shira, hindi sila nag-ask ng consent from creator which is yung Campo de Lenca. Kaya naman, naka-down lahat sa streaming apps yung kantang Celos because of copyright. IP protection usually expires after a certain period depending on the type of work. Once the creator of a work has been given the chance to profit from their work for a time, it can be accessed for the rest of the society free of charge if someone invents a new form of telecommunication that are given ample time to market their invention and protect from their work, but after the set period, other companies are allowed to make their invention without owing royalties to the inventor. Intellectual property risks when risks involved in protecting a piece of intellectual property are analyzed. This is called IP risk management. There are two main perspectives to consider in this type of risk management, the first party and third party. The first party is the creator and the owner of the IP. This company or individual will want to assess the cost of protecting their IP. Risk to the first party, including legal costs, if IP must be defended in court costs, if the IP loses value or is no longer considered an asset, decreased revenue for a protected product or service, if the IP is found to be invalid in some way. The third party is an individual or company considering rights infringement must consider the cost of a lawsuit and resulting consequences potential for poor reputation and subsequent effects. Patent. It is an exclusive right granted for a product, process, or an improvement of a product which is new, inventive, and useful, is a grant issued by a government giving an inventor the exclusive right to exclude others from making, using, importing, and offering for sale the product for this invention. An invention is any technical solution of a problem in any field of human activity, which is new, involves inventive step, and is industrially applicable. Business method patents. The growth of internet use and software development has given rise to business method patents. Firms use these buttons to assault competitors and subsequently provide income from royalties or licensing fees. Concerns have evolved regarding these patents. Example, the Amazon.com owns a business method patent for the single clicking feature used by a buyer or its website to order products. And the other example is the Pricelines.com claims that it holds a patent related to its service where a buyer can submit a price with bid for a particular service. Up without a patent. Not all startups will have a product or concept that is patentable. In this case, the entrepreneur should understand the competitive environment to ascertain any advantages that may exist or to identify a unique positioning of a strategy. Maintaining the differential advantage may be a challenge but represents an important means of achieving long-term success. Trademark. Trademark or service mark is a distinctive and visible sign, symbol, emblem, or device used by the enterprise to differentiate its goods or products, trademark, or services. Service mark and shall include a stamped or marked container of goods. The use of the mark generated goodwill that gives value to the IP. A distinguishing word name or symbol used to identify a product. Trademarks, unlike patents, can be renewed forever as long as they are being used in business. The trademark is given in initial 10 years registration with 10 renewable terms. In the fifth to sixth year, the registrant is required to file an affidavit with the Patent and Trademark Office or PTO indicating that the mark is currently in commercial use, otherwise the registration will be cancelled. There are four categories of trademarks. The first one is the coined mark. Coined marks denote to relation between the mark and goods or services and afford the possibility of expansion into a wide range of products. Example is the Mercedes and also the Kodak. The second is arbitrary mark. Is one that has another meaning in our language and is applied to our product or service. For example, is the apple. And the third one is a suggestive mark. It is used to suggest certain features, qualities, ingredients, or characteristics of a product or service. For example, is clean and clear, fair and loveless skin. The last one is the descriptive mark. According to the dictionary meaning, this is used in connection with products or services directly related to that meaning. Example, rubberoid, as applied to roofing materials that contain rubber. Registering the trademark. First, filing of the trademark registration must meet four requirements. Completion of the reading form, a drawing of the mark, 5 specimens showing actual use of the mark, then the last is the fee. Initial determination of suitability takes 3 months. Any objection by the entrepreneur must be raised within 6 months, or application is considered abandoned. Once accepted, the trademark is published in the Trade Official Gazette to allow any party 30 days to oppose or request an extension to oppose. If no opposition is filed, the registration is issued, and entire procedure usually takes 13 months.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sol Ritardo, the next reporter of this group. So, the next topic is all about copyrights. So, rights given to prevent others from printing, copying, or publishing any original works of authorship, such as books, scripts, articles, poems, songs, sculptures, data, and music. The protection in a copyright doesn't protect the ideas itself. It allows someone else to use the ideas or concept in a different manners. The copyrights law has become especially relevant because of the tremendous growth of the use of internet, especially to download music, literary works, pictures, art, etc. Although software copying copyright law was added in 1980. Issues surrounding access to materials on the internet have led to major legal battles for the entertainment industry. So, ang copyright nga ay nagbibigay ng karapatan sa isang tao na pigilan ang iba na mag-print or kopyahin ang kanilang na may original na gawa na may akdana. Tulad nga sa mga script, sa mga books, sa articles, sa marami pang iba na naipublish na sa internet or sa Pilipinas. Ito ay hindi nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa ideya kundi sa may konkretong may gawa na. Sa batas ng copyright ay naging mahalaga ito dahil sa paglago nito sa internet, sa pagsikat ng isang na-publish na sa internet kung saan may mga laban sa pag-access sa mga materials gaya sa mga music at sa mga aklatan para sa entertainment industry. So next is licensing. So contractual agreements giving rights to others to use intellectual property in return for fee. Licensing is an agreement between two parties where one party has proprietary rights over some information, process, or technology protected by a patent, trademark, or copyright. This agreement requires the license to pay some specified sum to the holder of the proprietary rights or licensors in return for a permission to copy the patent, trademark, or copyright. So, ang licensing and lisensya ay isang kasunduan sa pagitan nga ng dalawang partidos na kung saan ang isang partidos ay mayroong karapatan sa iba pang informasyon sa proseso at sa teknolohiya na ginawa ng isang author na i-publish na sa ating bansa na kung saan na required ng isang lisensyado na magbayad sa takdang halaga sa may-ari nung nag-publish ng isang gawa na karapatan so bilang kapalit na pahintulot na kopyahin ang patent, trademark, or copyright. So we have type of licensing. First is patent license agreement. Sa unang types ito ay isang kasunduan kung saan binibigyan ng karapatan ng isang tao o isang kumpanya na gamitin o magmahagi ng isang patent invention o teknolohiya sa iba sa pamamagitan ng pagbayad ng lisensya o royalty sa may-ari ng patent. Second is trademark license agreement. Dito naman ito ay isang kasunduan kung saan pinapahintulot ang isang individual o kumpanya na gamitin ang isang tatak ng produkto o pangalan sa isang particular na paraan o gamitin sa kapalit ng pagbayad ng lisensya o royalty sa may-ari ng tatak. And last is copyright license agreement. Dito naman ay isang kasunduan kung saan ipinagkaloob ng may-ari ng copyright ang karapatan sa paggamit o pamamagitan o ipamahagi ng kanilang likhang sining o tulad ng libro, kanta, pelikula o kagamitan na digital sa iba sa pamamagitan ng pagbayad ng lisensya o royalty. So before entering into the license agreement, the entrepreneur should ask the following question. First is will customers recognize licensed property? Ito naman ay ibig sabihin ay kilala ba ng mga customers ang produkto o serbisyo na may kinalaman sa lisensya. Halimbawa na lang ay isang negosyo ng damit. Bago sila maglisensya ng kanilang tatak ng tela, dapat nilang tanungin kung gaano ba kalawak ang pagkilala ng mga customers sa isang nasabing tatak or sa gagamitin nila tatak para sa kanilang produkto. Next questions is how will the licensed property complement by my product or service? Dito naman ay mahalagang isinaalang-alang kung gaano nga kahalaga ang lisensyadong ari-arian sa mga pagpapalakas ng isang mga produkto o serbisyo. Next is how much experience do I have with the licensed property? So dito sa pangatlo naman ay dapat isaalang-alang ang kakayahan o kaalaman ng mga negosyante sa paggamit ng tatak or sa mga lisensyadong na nagpapalakas sa mga nag-aari-arian. So next is what is the long-term outlook for the licensed property. Sa importante ring alamin ng isang entrepreneur ang hinaharap o pangmatagalan na pananaw para sa lisensyadong ari-arian tulad ng posibilidad ng pag-unlad o pagbaba na sa halaga nito sa hinaharap. And next is what kind of protection does the licensing agreement provide? So dapat malaman kung paano kaipit ang isang karapatan at interes sa ilalim ng kasunduan na ito. So next is what commitment do I have to in term of payment of royalties, sales or so on. So dito naman mahalaga na malaman kung ano nga ang obligasyon o sa pagbayad ng royalty sa pag-abot ng kota sa benta o iba pang kondisyon sa kasunduan. So last is are renewal options possible and under what terms? So dapat nga tukuyin kung may mga pagpipilian para sa pagpapalit ng kasunduan o ano pang kasunduan kondisyon nito. So, halimbawa na lang sa isang kumpanya ng pagkain ay dapat magtatanong kung gaano kahalaga ang lisensya ng sikat na celebrity chef sa pagpapalakas ng kanilang brand. So, ganun nga. And katulad na lang sa isang developer ng software ay dapat nga munang suriin kung gaano nila kakilala o maunawaan ang teknolohiyang ito na i-offer nila sa kanila bago sila magpasya sa isang lisensyang agreement. So, ayun po. So, next we have type of insurance. So, first is property. Dito naman sa property insurance, ito ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon laban sa pinsala o pagkawala ng ari-arian tulad ng bahay, gusali at iba pang mga kagamitan. Next is casualty insurance. Dito naman ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon laban sa pinsala sa tao o ari-arian na dulot ng aksidente o hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Halimbawa na lang nito ay ang auto insurance na kung saan nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa isang sasakyan mula sa aksidente. Next is life insurance. Ito naman ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa isang individual kapag siya ay namatay. Kapag ang may-ari ng insurance na ito, ng life insurance ay namatay, ang kanilang pamilya ay makakatanggap ng kabayaran mula sa life insurance. So, next, pang-apat is workers' compensation insurance. So, dito naman ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa mga manggagawa laban sa pagkakasakit o pinsala sa kanilang natamob habang sila ay nagtatrabaho. And last is bonding insurance. So, dito naman ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon sa isang negosyo o individual laban sa posibleng pananagutan o pagkakautang nito. Halimbawa na lang, isang contractor ay maaaring hingan ng bonding insurance upang masigurado na sila ay may sapat na pananagutan sa oras na pagtupad sa kanilang mga kontrata. So next, we have contract, a legally binding agreement between two parties. Entrepreneurs commonly sign contract with vendors, landlord, and client. It is very important for the entrepreneur to understand the fundamental issues related to contract, while also recognize the need for a lawyer in many of these negotiations. In case of not availing a lawyer, entrepreneurs must take care of following essential. Dapat alam ng isang entrepreneur yung mga ng nilalaman ng isang contract, mga importante na items sa isang contract. First is all involved parties should be named along with their rules. So, like yung buyer or seller ng isang contract or licenses and licensor ng isang contract, etc. pa. So, next is detailed transaction. So, dapat nakalagay sa contract yung exact location, yung date, time, yung place of delivery, etc. pa na important details sa isang transaction. And next is yung exact value of transaction. Dapat alam nung entrepreneur kung gaano kamahal or kung magkano yung gagastusin na value sa isang contract or sa transaction na yon. And last is yung involved person signatures must be obtained in the deal. So, dapat importante yan na merong isang tao or merong person signatures para merong kang patunay na deal yung inyong transaction ng parties. So, ayun. So next, we have the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines Republic Act number 8293 or Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. The state recognized that an effective intellectual and industrial property system is vital to development of domestic and creative activity, facilitate transfer of technology, attract foreign investment, and ensure market access for our product. It shall protect and secure the inclusive rights of scientists, inventors, artists, and other gifted citizens to their intellectual property and creation, particularly when this beneficial to the peoples for such periods as provided in this act. So, sa pamamagitan ng batas na ito, ipinagtatanggol at itinataguyod ng Estado or ng batas na ito ang eklusibong karapatan ng mga scientifico, inventor, artist at iba pang mga likhang isip ng mamamayan sa kanilang mga nalikha. Halimbawa na lang kung isang scientist or isang inventor ang nakaimbento ng isang bagong teknolohiya na maaaring mapakinabangan ng publiko, ang Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines ay nagbibigay ng isang mekanismo upang itanghal at bigyan siya ng isang eklusibong karapatan sa kanyang inimbento sa loob ng isang takdang panahon na kanyang maaaring gamitin upang protektahan ang kanyang interest o mga encouragement ang pagpapakalat ng teknolohiya para sa kabutihan ng lahat. So, ayun lang po.
The next topic is all about products and services. First is grant and segregation of intellectual property rights. Refers to the process by which creators or inventors secure legal protection. So, ito yung ginagawa ng mga inventors and creators para maprotektahan yung kanilang gawa and mabigyan din sila ng credits. Kung sakaling may gumaya sa mga gawa nila and nagbe-benefits din naman to sa kanila. And there are the key points of grant and registration of intellectual property rights. First, Grant for letters, patent for invention. Second, registration of utility models. Third, registration of industrial design. Fourth, registration of integrated circuit. And lastly, registration of trademark. Second is legal remedies. Ang legal remedies ay tumutukoy sa mga hakbang na maaaring gawin ng mga individuals upang tugunan ang legal issue or seek redress for a legal wrong. These remedies are typically sought through the judicial system and are aimed to providing relief or compensation for harm and injury suffering by the aggrieved party. Third is enterprise development. Ang enterprise development ay tumutukoy sa mga programa na naglalayong suportahan at palakasin ang mga negosyo o kumpanya, particularly ang mga small at medium enterprises. At layunin ng enterprise development ang magbigay ng suporta sa pag-unlad at paglago ng mga negosyo na nagresulta sa paglikha ng trabaho, pagtaas ng kita at pagpapalakas ng ekonomiya sa pangkalahatan. Are the key points of enterprise development. First, patent search for the public. Second, technology transfer agreement registration. Third, mediation. Fourth, external training. And lastly, advisory services. Fourth is copyright industries development. The copyright industries development refers to the promotion and support of industries that rely on copyright, protected words for their economic activities. These industries encompass a wide range of sectors, which is publishing, music, film, television, software, video games, and advertising, and etc. Are the key points of copyright industries development. First, accreditation system. Second, advisory services. And lastly, information, training, and educational support. Patent benefits. Ang patent benefits ay tumutukoy sa mga exclusive rights and protection na binibigay nito sa mga inventors. Here are some significant benefits of patents. First, a patent is an exclusive right that allows the inventor to exclude others from making, using, or selling the product of his invention during the life of the patent. Second, patent owners may also give permission to or license other parties to use their invention on manually agreed term. Third, owners may also sell their invention rights to someone else, who then become the new owner of the patent. Sa madaling salita, ang mga patent ay nagbibigay ng proteksyon at oportunidad sa mga inventors na maipagtanggol at magamit ang kanilang mga invention sa commercial market. This is entitled to motivate the creation of the new technologies, products, and processes that will have a positive impact on the economy and society. Patent term of protection. The term of a patent shall be 20 years from the filing date of the application. The patent must be maintained yearly starting from the 5th year. Utility model is a process by which inventors or creators secure legal protection for their utility models. A utility model is similar to a patent but typically has a shorter term of protection and may have less stringent requirements for novelty and invented step. Utility model term of protection. A utility model is entitled to 7 years of protection from the date of filing, with no possibility of renewal. Next is trademark. Ito yung mga sign, symbol, logo, or design para ma-identify and ma-distinguish ang mga products or services ng isang particular na kumpanya. And ito ay isang uri ng intellectual na ari-arian na nagbibigay protection sa pangalan at imahe ng isang negosyo laban sa paggamit ng iba. And ano nga ba ang mga benefits ng trademark? Siyempre, una na rito is yung mabigyan ng protection sa pagkakakilanlan ng isang negosyo sa merkado. Pangalawa naman is yung pagrehistro ng owner para ma-prevent ang paggamit ng iba or mag-explode ng brand sa anumang paraan. Lastly, A protected trademark not only serves as means of identify the source, differentiating products, and indicating quality, but it can also generate additional revenue for the owners through licensing or franchising agreements. Trademark terms of protection. A trademark can enjoy indefinite protection if constantly monitored and appropriately managed. The initial protection period spans 10 years from the date of issuance and can be removable for a period of 10 years at a time.
Everyone, I am John Sandrick Resultay. So, copyright. Copyright is a legal concept that grants protection to the owner of the right in an original work. When we say original work, we are referring to any creation or production in literary, scientific, and artistic fields. This means that any form of expression such as books, music, paintings, sculptures, films, and computer software can be eligible for copyright protection. The purpose of copyright is to ensure that creators have the exclusive right to use and control their works, allowing them to benefit from their creativity and prevent others from using their works without permissions. The IP Code or Intellectual Property Code is a legal framework that governs intellectual property rights in many countries. It enumerates various types of literary and artistic works that are protected under copyright law. This includes book and other writings, musical works, films, paintings, and other similar creations. Additionally, computer programs are also considered as literary and artistic works and are protected by copyright. This means that the creators of these works have exclusive rights to their creations and can control how they are used, reproduced, distributed, and displayed. It is important to note that the scientific scope of protection and requirements may vary depending on the jurisdiction and local copyright laws. Copyright laws provide authors, artists, and other creators with automatic protection for their literary and artistic creations. This means that as soon as a work is created, it is automatically protected by copyright without the need of any formal registration or application process. The moment an author writes a book, an artist paints a picture, or a composer writes a piece of music, they hold the copyright to that work. This automatic protection grants the creator exclusive rights to control how their work is used. Uh, it is still advisable for creators to mark their works with the copyright symbol or the letter C, the year of creation, and the name of the copyright owner to provide additional notice and evidence to their rights. While it is not necessary to formally record or deposit your works to obtain copyright protection, authors and artists have the option to execute an affidavit of ownership with the National Library or the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines for the issuance of recordation and deposit. This means that creators can choose to submit a sworn statement affirming their ownership of the copyrighted work to these institutions. By doing so, they can obtain additional evidence of their rights and establish a public record of their ownership. This can be helpful in case where there are a dispute or infringement of their work, as it provides a documented record for the copyright claim. However, it is important to note that the affidavit of ownership is not a requirement for copyright protection, and creators still hold automatic copyright protection for their works, even without recordation or deposit. As for the copyright benefits, creators of work protected by copyright have exclusive rights of their creation. This means that they have the sole authority to use the work themselves or give permission to others to use it under agreed upon terms. The right holders or holder of a copyrighted work have the power to authorize or prohibit various actions related to the work. These actions include reproduction in all forms, whether it's in print or a sound recording. The rights holder can control whether the work can be copied, duplicated, or reproduced in a way. Additionally, the rights holder has the authority to permit or restrict public performances and communication of the work to the public. This includes the right to control how the work is presented or displayed to an audience in such as in theaters, concerts, or exhibitions. Broadcasting the work through media platforms also falls under control of the rights holder. The rights holder can decide whether the work can be translated into other languages. This means that no one can translate the work without the permission of the rights holder, ensuring that they have the control over the work is adapted or presented in different languages. Lastly, the rights holder has the power to authorize or prohibit adaptations of the work. For example, if a novel is to be adapted into a screenplay for a film, the rights holder can grant or deny permission for such an adaptation. Next is copyright term of protection. The term of protection for copyright in literary and artistic works, as well as the as a derivative works, is typically the lifetime of the authors plus 50 years. This means that copyright protection begins from the moment the work is created and lasts throughout the author's lifetime. After the author's death, the copyright protection continues for an additional 50 years. During this period, the rights holder, which may be the author or their heirs, has exclusive control over the use and exploitation of the copyrighted work. They have the right to reproduce, distribute, publicly perform, communicate, translate, and adapt the work. No one else can use the work without obtaining proper authorization from the rights holder. After the expiration of the copyright term, the work enters the public domain. This means that it is no longer protected by copyright and can be freely used and accessed by anyone without the need for permission or payment. Example of this is the Coca-Cola. Several decades ago, Coca-Cola made a strategic decision to keep its soft drink formula a closely guarded secret. The formula, which is the key to the unique taste of Coca-Cola, is known only to a select few individuals within the company. To ensure its confidentiality, the formula is stored in a highly secure vault located in a bank in Atlanta. The individuals who have knowledge of the secret formula have been required to sign a non-disclosure agreement legally binding them to protect the formula's confidentiality. These agreements prevent them from sharing the formula with anyone outside the company without proper authorization. To further safeguard the secret, it is rumored that those who know the formula are not permitted to travel together. This extra precaution aims to prevent the risk of the formula falling into the wrong hands or being inadvertently revealed. By choosing to keep their formula a closely guarded secret instead of patenting it, Coca-Cola maintained its exclusive control over the production and distribution to its iconic beverage. If the formula had been patented, it would have been disclosed to the public, allowing others to replicate and produce Coca-Cola. By keeping it a secret, Coca-Cola has been able to establish itself as a unique and distinctive brand in the soft drink industry. Next is the Lego. In the past, there was a patent for a stud and tube coupling system which referred to a specific way that bricks were designed to hold together. This patent provided exclusive rights to the inventor or the company for a limited period of time, preventing others from using or replicating the specific coupling system without permissions. However, patents have an expiration date. Once a patent expires, the invention enters the public domain, meaning that it is no longer protected by the patent law. In the case of stud and tube coupling system, the patents have long expired, allowing others to use the same or similar coupling system or coupling method without infringing on any patent rights. To maintain the competitive advantage and protect their market share, the company that originally held the patents may employ their intellectual property strategies. For instance, they may focus on creating unique and distinctive designs for their products, which can be protected through industrial design rights. Additionally, trademarks can be used to protect the company's brand name, logo, and other distinctive elements that differentiate their products from competitors. Copyright can also be utilized to protect any original creative works associated with the products, such as instruction manuals or promotion materials. By leveraging designs, trademarks, and copyrights, the company can still differentiate itself in the market and prevent competitors from directly copying their products. Appearance and brand identity. While the patents for the coupling system may have expired, these other forms of intellectual property protection allow the company to maintain a level of exclusivity and prevent direct imitation by competitors. Next example is the fountain pen. In the context of a fountain pen, there are various forms of intellectual properties protection that may be relevant. A patent may have been obtained for the fountain pen's innovative feature of being able to store ink, which grants exclusive rights to the inventor or the company for a specific period of time. This patent would prevent others from manufacturing or selling pens with the same ink storage mechanism without permission. Additionally, a utility model may have been obtained for the grip and pipette used for the injection of ink of the fountain pen. A utility model is a type of intellectual property protection that is similar to a patent but has a shorter duration and often covers inventions and practical or functional aspects. Furthermore, an industrial design right may have been secured for the fountain pen unique and aesthetically pleasing design, particularly the smart design with a grip shaped like an arrow. Industrial design rights protect the visual appearance and design features of a product, ensuring that others cannot create similar designs that may confuse consumers. To distinguish the fountain pen from other pens in the market, a trademark have been obtained. The trademark would be applied to the product itself and its packaging, serving as a recognizable symbol or sign that identifies the pen being associated with a specific brand or company. Collectively, these forms of intellectual property protection, including the patent, utility model, industrial design, and trademark, ensures that the fountain pen and its features are legally protected. They help the company differentiate its product from others, prevent unauthorized copying, and establish a unique identity in the market. Intellectual property can add value to a business in several ways, benefiting various aspects of its operations and growth. First is increasing the market value of the firm. Having strong IP assets such as patents, trademarks, or copyrights can enhance the market value of a business. Investors and stakeholders often view IP as a valuable intangible assets that contribute to a company's competitive advantages, market position, and potential for future growth. Second is the marketing. IP can be leveraged in marketing strategies to differentiate products or services from competitors. Trademarks can create brand recognition and loyalty, helping businesses stand out in the market and attract customers. This can lead to increased sales and market share. The third one is exporting goods and services. IP protection can be crucial when expanding into international markets. It provides legal safeguards against unauthorized copying, counterfeiting, and infringement of products or services. Having protected IP can build trust and confidence among foreign customers, facilitating export activities and market penetration. The fourth one is raising finances. IP assets can be valuable collateral when seeking financing or attracting investors. Lenders and investors often consider IP rights as valuable assets that can be monetized or licensed, increasing attractiveness of a business for funding opportunities. The fifth one is acquiring new technology and finding suppliers. IP rights can play a role in technology transfer and collaborations. Business can use IP to negotiate licensing agreements, access new technologies, and establish partnerships with other companies. IP protection can also identify potential suppliers or partners who have valuable IP assets that align with the company's strategic goals. Lastly, commercializing innovative products. IP protection incentivizes innovation by granting exclusive rights to commercialize and profit from new inventions or creative works. This encourages businesses to invest in research and development as they can secure a competitive advantage in the market through their IP. By commercializing innovative products, companies can generate revenue and secure a strong market position. So, all in all, IP can add value to a business by enhancing its market value, supporting market efforts, facilitating international expansion, attracting financing, promoting technology transfer, and enabling the commercialization of innovative products. By strategically managing and protecting their IP assets, businesses can strengthen their competitive position and drive growth and success. So that's all. Thank you.